Hey, what's up YouTube? Bar911970. Thank you as always for watching my channel, and I hope you guys are enjoying your day. We're going to continue the topic of this situation that's going on where I hope more and more people find out about it and get very angry about what our government, and I'm sure many other governments throughout the world, are doing to their citizens. And that's because a honorable person who was working for the NSA, I guess, developed a conscience and decided he can't do the illegal wiretapping anymore and brought it out and leaked it out. And the government right now is trying to do major damage control. And the president has the nerve to say things like, well, we need to have these inconveniences if it helps us find a terrorist. And they'll say that, even though for God knows how many years, because it's got to be at least since the Patriot Act because of what happened with 9/11, which, by the way, if you think it was done by a couple of box-cutting, cave-dwelling terrorists, I mean, your head is so far in the sand, there's nothing we can do but use you as a beach. Um, they're trying to justify it by saying things like, well, even though we've recorded millions of people's phone conversations and read millions of people's emails and read millions of people's Facebook and Twitter accounts, and all the people go on Google and we follow what they search, we actually caught one guy, so it justifies it. So you need to be inconvenienced for liberty, for freedom, to keep away from terrorists. Now I'm going to show you something how ridiculous that sounds. I'm going to put it in a different perspective. Because basically what they're saying is we can justify going against your constitutional rights and go against the Fourth Amendment, basically just using it as toilet paper because it means nothing to them, by justifying it by saying even though millions of people are being spied on without their knowledge and all their private information is recorded and viewed by who knows how many people, that they did catch one person, so it's okay. Now I'm going to put it in perspective so people can understand this. What if they decide to get the police to just go around some major city, let's say Manhattan or Los Angeles or Dallas, Texas, or wherever? They just go into town and they start randomly shooting people. And you never know. After you shoot enough people, they might accidentally shoot a terrorist or a drug dealer. So, does that mean that's what they should do? Well, we shot 50,000 people that were innocent, but we did get one bad guy, so it justifies it. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Well, it's pretty much the same thing what they're doing. Not as lethal, obviously, but it's still going against what our rights are supposed to be. And it's time we start getting angry, because they're laughing at all of us right now. They're laughing at you because they know that, people may march, people may, picket, stand in front of the White House and say, oh, this isn't fair. But they know you're not doing anything. And it's time we stop being afraid, because they can use terrorism forever. Because terrorism can come from anywhere, anyone, at any time, and go on forever. But where does it stop? Because I watch some comments on my videos, and I can just imagine other people's. And I've seen this in the quote-unquote real world. Will people justify things like the TSA groping you at the airport by saying, well, as long as they keep us safe, then let them do whatever they want? That to me makes no sense. And I'll read a quote that some of you probably know about, and it's by Benjamin Franklin. And I quote, those who desire to give up freedom in order to gain security will not have, nor do they deserve, freedom or security. That's wise words. We should listen to our forefathers. They warned us about a lot of things that are true to this day. Maybe that's why they came up with those amendments, because they wanted to be the first nation to go against what has been going on for centuries. But where does it stop when people say things like, well, it's okay if they read my emails because I have nothing to hide. It's okay if they listen into my phone conversations. I have nothing to hide. It doesn't matter if you have nothing to hide. Where does it draw the line? Because what if one day they decide to say, well, you know what, from now on, there's a 10 p.m. curfew, and once a month we're randomly going to go to your house, enter your house without permission, without a warrant, catch you off guard because you might be building a bomb or something. You never know. Out of 50 million people, there might be one. So we got to search everybody's homes, and we'll ransack your property, go through all your personal information, make your house a mess, and you have to clean it up. And if we find anything, you're getting thrown in jail or getting one hell of a fee. And we'll wake up in the middle of the night. We don't care. We won't give you the advance notice. Where do you draw the line? You know, do you go to work only to find out that you have to have a body cavity search every time? Because you never know. You might be a bad guy. Because, like they said, they were checking millions of people's phone conversations, reading all their emails and everything. They caught one. So that's their way of justifying it. And the sad thing is there are people out there that will say, well, they caught one, so that's good. So I guess we should have our freedoms taken away. I guess we should have those implants, those microchips. People thought that was crazy, saying things like, oh, where's your tinfoil hat? You know, especially years ago, when I was telling people over 2 years ago that the government was listening in on phone conversations and recording your conversations, oh, I was ridiculed. It's like, oh, you know, where's your conspiracy theorist tinfoil hat? You're crazy. They would never do that. Well, guess what? They did do it. And even the president has admitted it, and they're trying to justify it. These are your politicians, our representatives. And it's not just in the United States of America Corporation. This is going on around the world because they all work together. And I'm going to say right now to anybody out there who is a paid troll. Now, I'm not talking about the hater out there who might not like somebody for whatever problem because, you know, it takes a tough guy to go behind a computer and, you know, start a lot of problems. Ooh. I'm talking about the paid trolls, the ones who get paid by the government to actually discredit people like myself and others who are trying to spread information. And you know who you are because you're probably watching this. And I will say to you, sir or madam, if you get paid to sell out your patriots, your friends, your country for money, you're nothing more than a traitor whore, plain and simple. And you should be embarrassed and ashamed that the only way you can earn a living is by selling out your country. You don't think it's going to affect you eventually? Do you really think if the crap hits the fan and those people who were paying you had to make a run for it, you think they really are going to give a rat's ass about you, a low-level little foot soldier? They're going to leave you behind in a heartbeat and not shed a tear over whatever happens to you. And all your money is going to ultimately buy you is a nice fancy grave. So that's not a threat. That is just reality. Because when it's your time to go, you can't take it with you. So you can't find a real job? I don't care how much they would offer to pay me. I would never sell my soul or my countrymen for money. That's nothing more than a whore. You should be proud of yourselves. But I'll tell you something. Karma's a bitch. Karma will find you. But you're a traitor. You're not an American. You're not a patriot. And that goes for anybody around the world that does that to their own countrymen. You're whores. You should be ashamed. But you're not stopping us. Because people, we need to get angry. We need to actually decide that we, the people, we represent what they are. So if we don't change, what incentive do they have? Do you ever wonder why all politicians all around the world are driving in nice fancy limousines, living in nice fancy mansions, while 90% of the world's trying to find their next meal? Yeah, they'll have a telethon every now and then. They'll try and, save a whale to make it look good. They don't care about you. I mean, look at all the toxins they put in your food and water to make you sick, so you need those medications and operations so they can run those telethons and make a hell of a lot of money off of the people. And they'll show some poor little girl or poor little boy that had to shave their head because of their radioactive treatment. They lost all their hair. Feel sorry for them and give them money. But they don't tell you that they're the ones that help approve all the stuff that goes into the food and water that probably caused that stuff to them. We don't think about those things. We only see the end result. We don't see the problem. And all they're doing is giving you a leaky boat and handing you a bucket and say, as long as you have that bucket, you can continually scoop out that water. And guess what? You'll do that for the rest of your life. Instead of fixing the hole at the bottom of the boat that they drilled in, scuba diving underneath, not showing you that they did it. But they'll hand you the bucket. because they're nice guys. They're there to help the people. You feel represented? I sure don't. But we're not safer. And we have to stop being afraid because fear equals control. And as long as they scare people, they can control them. And they've been doing it for hundreds of years. The internet is the way to wake the people up. Because I guarantee you, there are people in other countries right now that are watching this and getting this information in a way that they could have never gotten hundreds of years ago, even 100 years ago, even 50 years ago. We need to take advantage of this. You're going to let the representatives just do whatever they want? I guess they might just randomly start shooting people, like I said, because you never know. They might catch a bad guy eventually. See how silly that sounds? And yet we allow it. It's time. Thanks for watching. Peace.